This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
America remembers. Solemn tributes and memorials unfolded across the country as we look back on the horror of 9/11. 22 years ago, we saw the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. Nearly 3,000 people died when hijacked planes crashed into New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a rural Pennsylvania field. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ann Allred. Today, across the bi-state, many remember this pivotal day in our country's history. We start in the Metro East. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay gives us a look at the memorial that took place at Scott Air Force Base.
On this day, 22 years ago, the United States was changed forever.
It was a day filled with shock, disbelief, and horror as the world watched the worst terrorist attack in American history unfold before our eyes.
Some moments in our lives are so deep-rooted that they remain etched in our memories no matter how much time passes.
Making sure those memories live on. Every year, Scott Air Force Base holds a ceremony on September 11th as local heroes honor all the heroes that stepped up on that fateful day.
The attacks caused the deaths of 441 first responders, the greatest loss of emergency responders on a single day in American history.
The focus of Monday's ceremony was all about honoring and remembering the thousands of lives lost, both civilians and first responders, and making sure we always keep their spirits alive.
They were fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, spouses, each unique individual whose absence left an irreplaceable void.
The local military service members honored that void through prayers, a wreath laying, and bell ringing. As Chief Master Sergeant Tim Walsh reminded them about their own strength and courage.
You will be among the first to answer our nation's call, ready to run in when others run out.
A call that thousands made before, with bravery that our nation has pledged to always remember.
May we never forget the sacrifices made. May we carry the memory of September 11th in our hearts as a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit.
At Scott Air Force Base, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
Thousands also remember by walking. This is the March to the Arch. It started this morning at 9/11 in West St. Louis County. It's making its way all the way downtown to the Arch. The tradition started in 2002 with just one man who carried a flag. And now thousands take part in this walk every year. The city of O'Fallon, Missouri hosted the Patriot Day ceremony. Students from Christian High School and Assumption Grade School participated in this event near a 9/11 artifact. It's a piece of the World Trade Center the city of New York donated to O'Fallon. You can see the bolts and concrete are still in place on that piece of broken steel. Bells toll at Ground Zero in New York, along with a moment of silence. The program also included the reading of names, where people took turns reading names of victims of the attack. Vice President Harris and other political leaders attended, while President Biden marked the occasion in Anchorage, Alaska. Another ceremony at the Pentagon, where American Airlines Flight 77 crashed. 64 people on the plane crashed, along with 125 inside the building. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin honored their memories. And a memorial for the 40 people killed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. United Flight 93 crashed in a field when brave passengers on that plane intervened and kept the hijackers from flying to Washington. Their heroism was remembered before their loved ones walking through the gates of the memorial to visit the crash site. And breaking news, just within the last hour, we learned Washington University will stop providing transgender medical care for minors, even for children who are technically eligible for it under a new Missouri law. The new law bans puberty blockers and hormone therapy for minors, but exempt patients who were already receiving medications before the law took effect were exempt. The school cites an unacceptable level of liability. This all comes after a former employee raised red flags about ethics and safety standards. Later on, an investigation found no misconduct. Now the WashU Transgender Center will refer patients to other providers. A sign that fall is in the air. We could see cooler temperatures this week. Let's take a live look outside. Gary Frank is here with the Weather First forecast, and we could see some rain, Gary. It felt quite cool today. You kind of needed a thin sweatshirt, I feel
Right?
like.
I know.
Yeah.
We're getting into the different parts of the closet we haven't used in a while, at least even for a couple of hours, and we may expand on that over the coming days. And for the rest of the evening, it's pretty gloomy here at this moment, but there are a couple of sprinkles and light showers already settling in as we look over downtown 100 above the park and, many other spots here. There are some light to moderate showers that have kind of settled in to some degree. Off to our southwest, it's still drier, and we're seeing this dry air kind of fight some of this rain from reaching the ground over in Millwood, north of Troy, and, some of these spots starting to see more of that. And it's also breaking up along 70. That's indicating it's running into some of this drier air. So not all of this reaching the surface, also some sprinkles here downtown as well. But we'll see more of that settle in over the next several hours as that sort of spreads not only into the Metro East, but on the Missouri side as well. As we look downtown, no sprinkles on the camera, though. Temps in the mid-70s here, 78. We've come down a degree. And over the next few hours, we'll see at least chances around. Not rain for everybody. We'll monitor that trend and also talk about what's in store for the week ahead and when you have to look back into that other section of the closet.
Right now, the American Red Cross is facing a national blood shortage. The shortage is leaving hospitals and cities at risk as they try to recover from a blood donation shortfall. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live in St. Louis at one of the country's 23 Red Cross labs. And Diamond, how severe is this shortfall? We hear about them a lot, but this one specifically.
Well, good evening, Anna, and that is correct. The American Red Cross of Greater St. Louis actually says this shortage includes 30,000 units of blood and platelets. Now, because of this shortage, there's a couple of factors that we need to think about. Factors like natural disasters, Hurricane Idalia, but also summer travel and folks not donating blood during those times, as well as big holidays where blood is actually needed. Now, the Red Cross here says that donating any type of blood will make a huge difference. Right now, the shelves are bare here at the Red Cross Manufacturing Laboratory in St. Louis, and employees are working quickly to package up blood orders for hospitals, but it's actually outpacing the numbers of donations they're receiving. The executive director of Greater St. Louis American Red Cross says O positive and O negative are needed the most right now because it's a universal blood type. A negative, B negative, and platelets are also needed, but at a lesser rate.
The last time we went under a national appeal for blood was 18 months ago. So 18 months ago was the last time we saw our shelves at this level or even worse. And that was due in large part to where we were at that point in the pandemic.
The American Red Cross says if you are looking to help out, you can do so by donating blood to one of the hundreds of testing sites and donation sites here in Missouri and Illinois. And you can do so now until the 30th. All you need is just 1 hour of your time, a valid ID, and a driver's license. Reporting live here in St. Louis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
For a list of the locations participating, text DONATE to 314-425-5355, and we will send that information to your phone. Today in Missouri, a battle in the courtroom over a ballot initiative involving abortion. Arguments on the language voters will see on a petition to reinstate abortion services. Our Justina Cornell tuned into this hearing and joins us in the studio. Justina.
Yeah, and while this trial was held before a Cole County Circuit Court judge in Jefferson City, this decision impacts the entire state of Missouri. That's because a question could be added to your 2024 ballot, which aims to add abortion protections to Missouri's constitution. Now, earlier this year, a St. Louis doctor filed 11 versions of a proposed constitutional amendment. And from there, the job of Missouri Secretary of State is to write the summary language on the ballot. However, the ACLU of Missouri, who represents that doctor, is now challenging Jay Ashcroft over 6 statements he wrote. They believe some of the language is insufficient and deceptive, including one that reads, the proposals would allow for dangerous, unregulated, and unrestricted abortions from conception to live birth without requiring a medical license or potentially being subject to medical malpractice. Now, earlier today, I spoke to 5 on your side's political analyst and the Secretary of State.
Certainly, if you oppose abortion rights initiatives, some of the strategies you could use are to prevent it from making it to the ballot, to have language that makes it seem unappealing to voters.
I'm glad that the lawsuit was filed because I think it's being covered by the news media, and that's helping to make the people know that this could be on the ballot.
Judge John Beadham gave the parties until Monday to turn any other orders, so we may hear a decision before then or next week. Whatever he decides, the judge already said he expects an appeal from either side.
Happening tonight, St. Charles County could adopt a property tax freeze for seniors. The bill localizes a state measure signed into law by the governor earlier this year. If passed, it would apply to seniors 62 years or older and begin in tax year 2024. And it would apply to all jurisdictions within the county. Still ahead, we're following the developments after a plant explosion in central Illinois. What we know about the workers injured at Archer Daniels Midland. Already recovering from a massive wildfire, the new natural disaster residents are facing in Hawaii.